Hello, New Eden. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? I'm gonna do the part 2 of the honorable PvPers. It's been a while, huh? It's been already a week. It's crazy, huh? How fast the time goes. Yeah, we're gonna take a look at a couple of players that operate in hot spots in different places in the faction warfare, including Kaldari versus Galente, including Amar versus Minmatar. So, I have a couple of notes here. Also, what it means, honorable, it means, you fight 1 versus 1. The kills are solo, alright? If it's 1% NPC attacking you, then it's still considered solo. What it's also considered, solo and honorable. What it's also considered honorable if they using, any types of fits, including brawling, including scram kiting, including, all types, or neuting, all types of strategy are permitted. Also, it's also permitted for them to just use boosters, implants, and all of that, abyssal rolls. It is all permitted as long it is 1 versus 1. So, and it's honorable. Alright, we're gonna take a couple of, notes. I'm in Tama right now, and actually, the first guy that I'm gonna showcase to, I actually got in a couple of fights with him, and, yeah, let me get the intel about him. I mean, no, his name is Tartuga7777, and his ship is the Condor. Which is interesting, the Condor is looking and looking at his losses in his Ezekiel board. He definitely fly exclusively this Condor. Just kind of revealing of inconsistent ISK value. He does, let me just simulate this. He does you run abyssal rolled versions of warp disruptor and micro warp drive. So they have this, so just like maximize his speed. And then he used tracking disruptors as well, so it's almost impossible to choose at range shoot him and all that. I mean, the value of the ship is really low, right? I mean, for what he can do, and you can definitely fly this as an alpha. This is a highly standardized, well-oiled fit. And they're buying, bulk and constantly undocking. This guy is also likes to switch up between his tracking, maybe put the something to disrupt the missiles, like weapon or missile disruptors or whatever. But his victims, I mean, he's definitely punching above his weight, his green kill, columns shows incredibly impressive hit list of like, 10 million ISK, 10 Tech 1 frigates. He's not just farming T1 frigates, he's also actively hunting and killing frigates like Kaldari, Hookbill, Federation Navy Comets, Griffins, but also, obviously destroyers, Catalyst, Catalyst Navy Issue, Algosus, Courses, Coraxes, and yeah, this guy is he's always, hunt and destroy. He's part of the Garista, and that's his main attraction. He just, roams around and finds kills. And but I gotta give you props to him. I mean, to consistently just kill anti-frigate destroyers like, you know, Algos and Catalyst, and faction brawlers like Condor. Tortuga 777 is almost certainly running like, you know, kiting light missile Condor, and the strategy just, you know, relies on he just to keep distance, right? I mean, you know, to use here the micro drive and just maintain distance, and he keeps the enemy pointed with a warp disruptor and slowing, wheeling him down with the missiles while staying completely out of their blaze, blaster and drone range. And I mean, location, it's just like I said, the who is who. Let me just show you the map a little bit. He's all everywhere. He's in Nagar Namen, he's in Sujarento, he is in Tama, he is in, you know, Abune. But yeah, definitely in this region, and sometimes even like in Placid region. I mean, you know, confirms that he's actively sliding into novice to small faction warfare complexes and looking for 1 versus 1 honorable duels. Alright, the next on our list is gonna be Beedo. It's gonna be Beedo, or should I just highlight to you a little bit the fit in case? I'll have the profile of the players in the description of the video. Alright, now Beedo, right? I mean, let me have here the notes pulled. Beedo is, you know, he came from nullsec, and I think he's looking for fights. I mean, the ship choice is the premium pirate cruiser, the Orthrus. Let me show it to you guys. Pretty cool fit, actually. And then unlike, you know, like the previous player who flew like 10 million ISK Condors, Beedo is flying top tier hardware. And this, I mean, I only look and he just has like one single loss of Orthodox, and that gives me like an incredible variety and size of the ships that he's flying. And I think he perfectly fits his engagement profile. I mean, Beedo is punching hard and taking down staggering variety of targets, proving his, you know, superior confidence in the piloting. Beedo, show your face a little bit. I have so many tabs. Sorry guys, barely can see anything then. There you go. Beedo. Yeah, I mean he's taken down constantly, like, you know, top tier like Navy and fleet cruisers, including E-UNI's Amamake issue, and an impressive staggering of like 3 Starboard Fleet issue back to back in the Alamel. Yeah, he came from nullsec. He didn't, when he was in nullsec, he was just also had like solo kills, like you know, 420 million ISK Lakasai, which is a deadly recon ship, and like 190 Ishtars out of 10 all. But we're gonna keep it on the low sec. Yeah, he came from low sec to, you know, looking for a fight in low sec. Yeah, and despite, you know, flying larger ships, he has no problem swatting down like fast interceptors like Stiletto, Malediction, and premium kiting frigates like Imperial Navy Slicer. So he is just, you know, because of this ship. I mean, look at it. I mean, the range of this, it has like 47. You can get like to 50 kilometers warp disruptor range That's insane. And extra ancillary shield booster, right? That's the an overpropped module of the yeah. And the way he kills, interceptors, anti-support cruisers, and this faction, heavy faction brawlers, Beedo is it's using definitely the Orthrus's biggest strengths, and I think it is the extreme speed, and he heavily, the heavily bonus warp disruptor, like I mentioned. His playstyle is catching just fast ships before they can even escape, and kiting heavy brawlers like the Navy cruisers at a very edge of missile range where they cannot shoot back. And yeah, I mean his playground is in this region, this constellation right here. In Mercosur or Richard or Alamel. Where's Alamel actually? Dig Alamel. Arderos. Arderon, yeah. And they're not, I mean, those systems are notoriously bloody area, bordering the faction warfare zone, so it shows that the kills that he has in nullsec, that he is not afraid to take like wormholes or filaments out of nullsecs and run radars and standing fleets. So it was a choice to came into lowsec for him. So yeah, pretty honorable player we got going on here too. Beedo. That was Beedo feat. Alright, next we're gonna go to the other warzone, and that'll be the Amar Minmatar warzone, and we got a couple of players here too that stand out. We got, I take a look, Klae, Ashford, and interesting, it's also a frigate. We're not gonna look at those like alpha friendly ships, guys. Who said you cannot compete with players, with experienced players in faction warfare? Let's take a look at his Vigil Fleet Issue. Let me take a look. Give me a second. Yep. So, right. Yeah, his ship is the. And unlike the previous players, he just relies on Klae Ashford. He relies on cheap T1 hulls and massive pirate cruiser meta, and or is deeply invested in like a mid-tier faction frigates meta, and he's flying definitely most the Vigil. He's also flying like a Republic Fleet Issue, but I didn't cover it this video. We're gonna look at the Vigil. I mean, we know that the Vigil has the extra range for the webs, 50 kilometers, and if you overheat, you can get a 20. That's freaking strong, if you ask me. Yeah, I mean, he is an absolute mid grinder. He just fighting anything that enters his plex. He fought like high threat brawlers, endless stream of Federation Navy Comets, Imperial Navy Slicers, Rifters, and Firetails. And he even successfully punching up Corso Navy Issue and Kala's Navy Issue. And he even has like a massive 126.6 ISK worm kill that I didn't save it here, but we know that worms are notoriously oppressive 1 versus 1, so taking it down in whatever he was flying, it's definitely serious pirating skills. And I mean, his playstyle is to, you know, consistently kill comets and slicers. Klae Ashford is likely, and it's using definitely the Vigil Navy issue range bonuses. And you know, with double webs and tier 2 webs, so he has the extra reduced ship's velocity. And you know, he's holding brawling comets at 8 or 9 kilometers where blasters can do damage, and they aggressively web down kiting slicers, and they can escape the rocket damage. And it's a slightly technical scramcat playstyle from him. And yeah, that's about it. It's about this fit. Hope you guys look at his fit. Also, the Orthodox had a couple of more things in his, you know, whatever he has in. Also note it here, guys, because I also see this mistake from other players, and they're saying, "Oh, only need to use cap booster 400." No, because look at this. I mean, if you put cap booster 400, you have 9, and you use 3 per cycles, and so that means you can only have 3 cycles. But if you use the next one, you have 4. So you have 4 cycles. You get the same amount of HP, but you have 4 cycles. So you actually get more. So that's the mistake one, you know, that a lot of people make when using cap boosters with the ancillary shield boosters. That I haven't seen that in very experienced players, like running in lowsec. They say, "Oh well, whatever. I'm just gonna put the 400. What's the difference? It's the same, right?" And they're just cheaper. You can easily put them in your cargo. Well, you have 1 more cycle with the 800s, and that makes a difference sometimes before you get into the reload. So I just a quick thing that I've noticed in a lot of players fitting, in, you know, them making that mistake of thinking that, you know, there's no difference between 400 Navy cap boosters, Navy, and 800 Navy cap boosters, which there is. Yeah, obviously 800 takes more cargo, but that's the advantage. You have 4 cycles. Alright, so just wanted to get that out of the way in case, you know, some players might not know that. Next, we're gonna go to another player, and that will be Wolf E Kristjansson, which is part of the Minmatar Republic. And his ship of choice is the Retribution. If you have his Retribution, which is the first one that it's an Omega ship. Yeah, he's getting quite a bit of kills with his. I mean, he's heavily main into Amara assault frigates. The Retribution. The vast majority of his losses sit around to this range, like 38 to 42. So that indicates that, you know, a highly refined, standardized fit, and they're very comfortable flying and losing it. So yeah, he sometimes occasionally switch up to like Retribution or Imperial Navy Slicers or Kikimora, but the Retribution is definitely, you know, his star ship. Then the spirit star of his board. And he's part of the E-UNI University, right? The E-UNI University, look at that. You would think that he would be a newbie, right? It's one of the best narratives on this board. The corporate ticket, the corporation ticket university, you know, because, you know, it's traditionally known as a training corporation for new players, but this kill board belongs to an absolute apex predator, you know. He is flying under a banner of teaching corps while absolutely schooling faction warfare veterans, and yeah, and pirate militias. And he's punching massively above his weight, you know, because we know that the assault frigates, they're very tough because of the compact assault damage control, and yeah, different types of weight classes. he is wiping the floor with high tier frigates like Wolf's, Ineos, Comets, and Navy destroyers like Cormorant Navy Issue, Scala's Navy Issue, you know. But he's not running the larger ships. He's kind of hunting them down. I mean, he's not running from larger ships, and he's, you know, getting them like Vexors, Caracal, and Sights. So this guy is definitely no joke. I mean, to get, you know, to just get cruisers in frigates, it's really impressive. And the most impressive one was like a Jackdaw, a 94 ISK Jackdaw, 81 million ISK Kikimora. Even it took like a Badger, you know, and a Talos, which Talos is like a tier 3 battlecruisers. So, and it's a 270, and that's solo in a frigate. And that requires like flawless piloting. So this guy is no joke. This guy is definitely no joke. It's definitely probably even takes the lead of all the other players that I've presented to you, and I'll be like, you know, the guy. I mean, to take down cruisers or battlecruisers and avoid tracking of destroyers, this is undoubtedly a kiting retribution, from what I see. Right? And, you know, he is relying on his ship innate speed and the phenomenal projection of Amar lasers. He stays out of weapon range and meticulously burn down larger targets while mitigating incoming damage and speed. Yeah, and definitely unlike like the other players who just set on one system, you know. Wolf, you know, Wolf E Kristjansson is a roamer. You know, he kills like everywhere. He literally he goes. You know, he's actively patrolling the warzone and bordering lowsec, forcing fights wherever he can find them. So yeah, let me guys, what you guys think about those fits? Those are really, and there are totally new fits, right? From comparable to the last week fits. A Condor this time around. We see an Orthodox. We see a Vigil, Scram Kite. Yeah, we had all types of ships, guys, that actually managed to get good 1 versus 1 kills. And that's pretty impressive, and I like that. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.